Welcome to episode 29 of FTCE Seminar, a teacher certification podcast. I'm your host, Mercedes Musto. In today's episode, I'll be talking about the FTCE General Knowledge Reading Subtest. This is part 8 of a multi-series review of what you need to know to pass the reading section of the GK. Today, we're going to talk about how to evaluate specific claims in a text or passage. This is our chance to use all the reading skills we've learned thus far. Actually, I think the fancy way of saying it is that you will be applying your, quote, knowledge of the integration of information and ideas. Ooh, yeah, that there is fancy. Okay, back to the point. What are specific claims anyway? So let's get started. Concept 1, evaluating specific claims. In the last 2 episodes, we discussed the author's tone and purpose. How did we do that? We evaluated the text for keywords used to describe, inform, persuade, or explain. You will use these same word sleuth skills to identify the specific claim the author makes by analyzing how the author is presenting their argument. The 3 most common ways to evaluate claims in a text is by relevancy, sufficiency, and validity. While you are reading the passage, ask yourself the following guiding questions. First, is there even a claim being made? Second, is there sufficient evidence provided to support the claim? Third, is that evidence important or relevant? And is that evidence logical or valid? So let's try out an example. While you're listening, ask yourself, is a claim being made? Is there sufficient evidence to support that claim? And is that evidence even really, relevant and valid? All right, example number 1. Many students believe that art education teaches students how to express themselves in healthy and productive ways. Students can create unique works of art, channel emotional expression, and connect with other students in art communities. Recently, art education was introduced into juvenile detention facilities. This new program showed immediate success among the students attending school within the facility. Over 70% of the participating students showed improved motivation, higher levels of attendance, and less aggression after engaging with art education over the course of 2 weeks. All right. Is there a claim being made? Well, yes. Okay, well, what is it? You are correct. The author is stating that art education teaches students how to express themselves in a healthy way. Next, what evidence does the author state to support this claim? Returning to the text, the author gives an example of an art education program inside a juvenile detention facility. Okay, so yes, there is evidence to support this claim. Now here is the tricky part. Is there sufficient evidence? Like, is there enough evidence provided to make a judgment call? And is the evidence relevant and valid? Meaning, is it reasonable and logical in supporting the claim that our education teaches students how to express themselves in healthy and productive ways? Okay, let's return to the last part of the text and reread it. Listen carefully. Recently, art education was introduced into juvenile detention facilities. This new program showed immediate success among students attending school within the facility. Over 70% of the participating students showed improved motivation, increased daily attendance, and decreased aggression, based on incident reports, after engaging with art education over the course of 2 weeks. Okay, After listening to the second part of the passage again, I would say yes. There is sufficient evidence to support the claim. Next, that evidence is relevant because it's connected to the claim, like it stays on topic and provides supporting details such as immediate success, improved motivation, increased attendance, and decreased aggression. Okay, so that is sufficient and it is relevant. Oh, but is it valid? Now remember, valid means logical or reasonably sound. And in this case, since the author used facts like 70% of participants showed improved improvement after engaging in art education over the course of 2 weeks, I have come to the conclusion that yes, this factual based claim stated by the author is indeed valid. So let's review. You will need to know how the author is presenting their argument. Now remember, the three most common ways to evaluate claims in a text is by relevancy, sufficiency, and validity. There are three guiding questions to help you evaluate the author's claim. First, is there even a claim being made? Second, is there sufficient evidence provided to support that claim? And third, is that evidence important or relevant? And is that evidence logic or valid? Being able to evaluate an author's claim within the text will help you answer questions relating to the reading portion of the general knowledge test. For more practice with reading strategies, visit ftceseminar.com to study for the test. The most important thing is to start studying, and start studying today so you can pass the teacher certification exam. Well, what are you waiting for? Check us out on YouTube at FTCE Seminar and start studying today. This podcast was recorded at the Pickens Multimedia Studio at the University of West Florida. This podcast is listener supported. Contributions are greatly appreciated and can be made via the listener support link on Spotify. This is your host, Mercedes Musto. Join me again on FTCE Seminar, a teacher certification podcast, so you can pass the FTCE.